It's snowy out. It's also 15 degrees. It's a perfect time to do an unboxing and assembly of one of my top 10 e-bikes to look out for in 2026. So there's the outside packaging from FedEx. Nothing going on, a little dirty in some spots, but you know, good packaging. It does seem like a thicker grade of cardboard too. Just so you know, the cardboard just seems, you know, just a lot thicker. Staples are a little bit more bulkier than a lot of packaging that I get from these e-bike manufacturers. This is one of their flagship e-bikes, especially in the 20 by 4 inch tire range. So should be a cool looking bike. So let's unbox it. All right, I'm gonna get some snips here. I'm probably gonna need to pry some of this off to these bigger circles. As you can see, it's just really well packaged. All their bikes are extremely well packaged. All right, so it looks like they put some high density foam blocking in there just to keep everything down and low. You could see that's the color I was talking about. It's just cool, isn't it? Look at that. It's just a really cool, like, cosmic gray. I'm really just digging that. It's beautiful. And their emblem is just awesome. Not just saying that because I'm a tourist, but I'm also an ox in the Chinese whatchamadoodle. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Something feels off today. These wheels won't go the normal way. Battery indicators flashing red. Handlebar shaking, what's up?
I guess most of the zip ties and the packaging off this bike. You can see there's the frame. Got the handlebars down there. Coming up, battery is in the frame, nice and secure. Front wheel tire. Wow, those are nice. Those rotors look really nice. And coming into the back here, we have the back rack, super sturdy back rack. Got the Altus shifter back here. It's like 7 gears. Of course, just really love that cosmic gray. It's like a bluish gray. It's just super cool. Love it. And what came in the packaging, everyone? Let's see here. There's a front fender. We discovered some things here. Got the owner's manual. Make it class 2, class 3 e-bike. It's up to you. Headlight assembly, all that kind of jazz. Front axle here. Pedals. Seat. Look at a pump. That's pretty cool. And we got a nice charger. Looks like it's 2.5 amps. Super nice charger. And charger battery super quick. And the tool set. Love it that they include that tool set. Just all the goodies that came in there. Oh, there it is, unboxed. All the pieces. Even the front wheel. Over here, we have the battery charging. It's 2.5 amps, and that's 20 amp battery, or amp hour battery. So we're looking at, you know, probably 7 to 8 hours to fully charge that battery from top to bottom. So there's that. Now, what I do like about KINGBULL is they give you really good toolkits, like quality tools, like really nice toolkits. So you got all the Allen wrenches you need, regular wrenches, even throw a screwdriver in there. So everything you need. So we're going to use the tools that KINGBULL provided to assemble this bike. All right, now we'll loosen these Allen bolts out of the stem here.
Can't slow down, can make this change. Lost control.
Even and about where you'd want it. I like my handlebars to just kind of go even with my forks. So when I adjust these, I just get them the same angle or close to the angle of the forks, and that seems to work for the most part. Okay, and now just that we got them finger tight, just kind of, you know, in a crisscross pattern, tighten them. So top left, bottom right. Okay, now that I've got the handlebars on, I'll go ahead and put on the seat. See, they're nice and cushy, got some airflow going on. It's got a short stem on it because it's a shorter bike. Got a long area here though, so let's see what happens. We'll go ahead and put the seat, I think about where I'll need it, about the midpoint. We could adjust it. There, nice and looks good. All right, seat's on, handlebars on. Now we're gonna flip this thing over and put on the front wheel. All right, definitely one of my favorite things to do. Just be sure that you figure out where your front and back brakes are. So make sure you find your rear brake, lift it, and just take your time, no hurry. All right, and then we're going to slowly bring it down. All right, now that we've got it, I did have to lower the seat all the way down to get it even. It just, you know, all these bikes are different dimensions. So just keep in mind to lower the seat all the way down before flipping this one over. So yeah, anyways. All right, coming around here to the front wheel. We're now going to put on the front wheel and tire, all that good stuff. Keep in mind on the calipers, there's some brake pads in here. This is a little spacer here that keeps them from seizing up, but you can see down in there, those are the brake pads. Well, we're going to have to get this rotor in there. That's a really nice rotor. It's nice and thick. But anyway, we're going to get this rotor inside those calipers. All right, here's your front axle assembly. Just be sure you got spacers on either side, as you can see there. And your nut on either side. So we're going to put this through this end here. Make sure it comes out the other end there before we place it on. That'll just give you something to rest it on. Our spacer on there first. Spacer's on. And we'll get our 15 mil wrench that they provided us with. I'll go ahead and start tightening that down. If you are getting any rubbing on the disc onto the rotors, now's a really good time to adjust them while you got it like in this position as well. I've got another way to show you too, but it's a good opportunity to adjust your brakes and rotors while you do have the bike upside down.
Hour plus, hard racing, earning trust.
Okay, you can see here we got our tools out. Headlight. We got the bolts to mount our headlight to these brackets that we got to put on first. But you can see the brackets, there's some rubber strips that go, you know, between the brackets and wherever we decide that we want to mount them, whether we want to mount them up high or mount them down low. I tend to like mine as high as I could get them without them interfering with the handlebars, basically. You can see the brackets here, so you can see, pretty simple. They're marked right or left. I don't know if you can see that R, but there's an R on that one, that's for the right, so to be mounted this way. So I give you an idea of where the headlight's going to sit. So what I'm going to try to do, I don't know if I could adjust these. Yeah, I could adjust these right here, move these down. And this keeps you from turning too far and banging your post. So I'm able to adjust those. So I think it's going to be a really good spot right there. And the headlight's going to be below the handlebars, so they won't interfere, but they're up high. I like my headlights up high. I don't want them too low, so as high as I could go without them interfering with the handlebars is, you know, that's what I like to do.
But I don't want it any other way. Oh, lost control.
Now I'll do the other side. Here. Line it up. All right, now I'll just tighten these up until they get really nice and snug. We got the brackets nice and tight. We're going to go ahead and tighten the headlamp, put it where we want it. I think I'm going to want it at a slight tilt down so it's facing down at the sidewalk. I tend to find that's about the best. But yeah, somewhere either straight ahead or a little bit down is best. You definitely don't want it too far up. So it's a slight tilt down is where I'm going to put it right now. Again, I could adjust this anytime I want to. Bingo. All right. One more step. One more step, remember? All right, so you got these two yellow cords here. and you want to plug them into each other. You want to get, there's a little notch hole there, and there's a little notch there. Just line up the arrows that are on the black part as well. You know, don't force them on, and boom, you're done. Now we do have some cables up here, and I do have some zip ties down there, so if you want to, you know, zip tie everything up and make it neater than it already is, there's maybe a couple spots. You can go ahead and do that because they do offer some zip ties for some cable management. That's really cool because I do like cable management. So, all right, so you can see the front fender. It's got like a little clip here and two little custom made wired kind of hanger things here. They're going to mount on a bolt here, one on the other side as well. This first one here mounts right there. So we're going to take this bolt out. You should be able to take it out by hand. And there it is. Check it out. All right, cool. So what I suggest you do first, before messing with these bottom ones here, is you go ahead, slide it through. This is the easiest front fender I've ever put on. Wow. A lot of times these bolts are super hard to get out, and then even more difficult to tighten back in. I don't know if they use too much Loctite or what they do with a lot of them. Let's just get this hand tight for now, maybe not even hand tight, just so we have more playroom for these down here. All right, now we will extract these bolts. Line it up. We got a little play in it. Making it loose, this makes it a lot easier to get it lined up properly. I'll just tighten these up. And it's the same on both sides, so I don't want to double up on the wasting your time. All right, they are marked right or left. And it's the same on both sides, so. Nice and snug. All right, so it's 19 mil.
Play it safe, but now I'm breaking away. As I'm learning how to break the cage, motors humming.
All right, now it's nice and snug. All right, good to go on the derailleur. All put together. Just be sure, after riding this for a little bit, that you do check on the bolts and screws and everything. Vibration causes things to come loose, and also check the things that came from the manufacturer. Just be on the safe side, especially your front wheel and your rear wheel. It's super important. Also, every once in a while, just check your brakes, making sure they're good, whatever. Brake pads, you know, change those about every 800,000 miles probably, depending. I change mine about every 500 or 600. I ride really aggressively though. Always check your tires before you go out. Having proper tire pressure is super important. It's super safe to always check your tire pressure because that's what is between you and the road basically. So check that out. Always be sure you have plenty of charge on your battery before you head out. Colder weather will deplete the battery a little bit if it's sitting. Not while you're riding, but while it's sitting. A couple other things. Yeah, just make sure your handlebars are tight and on. Maybe before you leave, it's gonna be dark, maybe check your headlamp. Make sure it works before you head out. But yeah, just a super cool looking bike. I really, really like it. It's just a great looking bike. Let's put in the battery. All right, and there's your 20 amp hour, 48 volt lithium battery, Samsung cell. Super awesome battery, built really well. I love that KINGBULL puts these like little hooks on the back because It's really nice to get it clamped in down in there and get it set. But I'm going to show you basically how to do it. Clamp part on the bottom part of the battery, and it will slide in this nice little groove. And then it locks in. It's that simple. Now to take it out, check this out. Boom. Just push the key to the right, and then push this button, unlocks it, and you're able to take your battery safely out to charge it on the port. Now, let's go ahead and put this in. Make sure it's nice and locked, snug, cool. You could also leave in your battery and charge it right here. There's a little port right there to charge as well. But if you're not using it, just keep it closed, keep the water, dirt, and grime out. Well, that right there is the unboxing and assembly of the KINGBULL Jumper Go e-bike. Super excited about this 48 volt, 750 watt, the Fang motor, Samsung battery, name brand hydraulic brakes, name brand tires, go on and on and on. Just a great bike. KINGBULL Jumper Go e-bike. Maybe this is the right bike for you. I hope if this is the right bike for you and you're thinking about getting it, that this assembly video helped you decide. Super easy e-bike to assemble. I'd say it's at least an 8 out of 10. It's that easy. So super awesome e-bike, super easy to assemble. Cannot wait to take this bike out in the snow on a review to show you what this bike is really about and why I got it. To our next adventure, this is Chris from the Electric Adventure channel. The unboxing and assembly of the KINGBULL Jumper Go for 2026. I think it's one of the best bikes of the year. To our next adventure.